In 1966, when Mike, Davy, Peter, and Mickey were cast as the Monkees for a television show inspired by the Beatles, they could never have guessed we'd be talking about them 45 years later, but we are. The group has sold 50 million albums and still draws sold-out crowds on various reunion tours, the most current of which celebrates the band's 45th anniversary. I recently had an opportunity to talk with Peter Tork about the Monkees and about his time in Northfield, where he attended Carleton College in 1960. Peter, you're going to be playing the Minnesota Zoo. Have you ever played the zoo before as a monkey?
We're not really going to go there, are we?
I promise you, I will not make any monkey puns or any monkey jokes. I was just curious if this is something that you had done before.
We have played zoos before. Yeah, the Monkees have played zoos before.
Okay. I grew up watching your show and being a huge fan of both the show and your music. And one thing I was struck by, I went on YouTube last night and saw some recent performances from your 45th anniversary tour. It looks like you guys are having a blast on stage.
I think we are. I think that's a fair representation of the situation. I'm dealing with a couple of very funny guys, and it's really a joy. I get to laugh and goof off with them. It's kind of a little embarrassing being the slowest witted guy in the troupe, but I get a few things in now and again, so yeah, it's a whole lot of fun.
Well, you certainly make up for it with your musical abilities. I saw you playing guitar and some keyboards. I mean, you do pretty much play it all, don't you?
Well, I actually have never been able to master the violin family. I haven't been able to begin to do the violin family. I can squawk through a woodwind and play a little, and musicians generally, once they get around to getting their hands on something, anybody who can play one instrument can eventually get around to playing any instrument if that's what they want to do. And I've just been inclined to try to pick up instruments. Other guys, they just say, okay, I play this. I don't care whether I play the flute or not. But I've always, there's nothing in the house but a flute or somebody's house. I'll just try to get a note out of it. So the only instrument that I haven't nothing's worked has been the string instruments, the violin family. Other than that, I can play a simple melody on almost anything.
Do you miss having Mike up there with you?
Mike brings something special of his own everywhere he goes, and we're different without him. I don't know that I'd say we miss him exactly so much as we notice he's not there.
Okay.
And there's things about him that we miss, and things that we get to do without him that we have a good time with too. So, we hope Michael's having a great time wherever he is, whatever he's doing, and wish him the best. And we carry on, and that's about the end of it.
No heartache spells, no longer lonely nights of waiting finally won me happiness that's all rolled up in you. And now with you as inspiration, I look toward a destination sunny, bright that once before was blue. I have no more than I did before, but now I've got all that I need. For I love you and I know you love me.
Towards the late 60s, when the Monkees had an opportunity to break free somewhat from having songs written for you to sing, and you were producing and writing your own music, being an accomplished musician yourself, was it freeing at the time? Was it frightening to try to live up to the success that you'd already had? What was that like going into the studio as you sort of got your own creative control?
Well, it was a lot of fun. I was too stupid to be scared. Really, it was one of the things I have to say about the Monkees is that I was among those who was the most upset that the Monkees weren't be the instrumentalists on their own early records. But I look back now and regard myself as wrong. for one thing, I did not know what I did not know. Compound ignorance, a friend of mine called it.
Okay.
I did not know that I did not know how to make a record. And it wasn't until I watched the pros make records for a year or so that I actually gained what I needed to know in order to make a record. It wasn't daunting. I believed in Mickey as a drummer, actually. I knew Michael and Davy were very good musicians. I wish we'd been able to exploit Davy more in terms of his timekeeping and melodic instincts. He's an extraordinarily musical guy. And, when the time comes for us to use him on guitar, we give him the guitar and don't think twice about it because he knows what he's doing whenever. And if he doesn't, and you show him what he's doing, he knows how to do it from then on. He doesn't blunder. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't mess up. Whatever he's doing, he does. And so I wish we'd known that about him at the time. As it was, we just used him to play tambourine. He was sickened to death of it by the time we were done with the first the first group album, The Headquarters. He was just done with banging the tambourine. But no, I had no doubt about it. Like I said, it might have been too stupid to know better, not to know better, but no, I wasn't scared. It was great. Yes, it felt liberating.
You know, the TV show is brilliant. I grew up with it. I can still watch it today and enjoy it in a different way than when I was a kid, but it's still very enjoyable. Did the four of you have creative input into what happened on the screen as you were doing the show?
Yes, we did. Very often we would rehearse a scene and somebody would say, wait, this joke doesn't work or it doesn't seem to take us where we want to go. And the director and producers, they always said the same thing. Well, look, pal, if you can come up with a better joke that moves the plot along the same way this joke does, and that we have the props and can rehearse it, then go to it. We very rarely improvised on camera. It's tricky because when you're doing what they call one camera work, you have to be within a couple of inches of the correct distance from the camera, or you go out of focus and the lighting goes bad. So all of that stuff has to be lined up ahead of time. But during rehearsals, if we came up with something better, yeah, we were welcome to change it if it worked.
And from what I've read, the show was based in part on some of the success of Hard Day's Night and tried to capture.
I have to interrupt you.
Yes.
In part is the wrong part. Entirely based on Hard Day's Night. Yeah, absolutely. No other major source except television industry in general. No other major influence than Hard Day's Night.
I know for Hard Day's Night, the Beatles met with a screenwriter who sort of got to know them a little bit and understand their personalities and tried to incorporate them into the movie. Did that happen with the show as well? Are those your personalities to some degree that you see in those shows?
More so as the seasons wore on. The first season wore on, and we got into the second season. In the first season, in the beginning of the first season, the writers were writing somewhat generically because that was the job. Everybody had to. It was chop, let's get on with this. Come on, we don't have any time. So they did what they could, and they got to know us after they'd written a few of the scripts. And the more they got to know us, the better they wrote for us. And yes, so that was. I guess that's the answer to your question. I
was going to ask you about Northfield, which is where we're calling from. You went to Carleton College in Northfield.
I did.
And I'm wondering, how did that contribute to your success in the Monkees?
Oh, I don't know. I'm afraid that I misused the school. I flunked out twice. I'm kind of academically inclined, but not inclined for college for some reason. I don't know. I grew up in an academic family. My parents were both academics, but for some reason, I think I'm just constitutionally incapable of dealing with the rigors of college. I find I learn more by osmosis than actual studying. So what I got out of college was much more, to my way of thinking, it was much more the auxiliary stuff. I played French horn in the college orchestra. I was a DJ on radio, and social, learning to getting to know people, living in a dorm situation. All those things were much more important to me than the actual academics, by and large. So, like I said, I'm afraid I misused the school, but I was awfully glad I was there.
Do you have any memories of Northfield?
Oh, sure. Hey, Jesse James, last job, served him right. Yeah, Ravi Shankar came to Carlton. There was a Russian bass baritone named Pavel Lizitzian who just knocked my socks off. Never heard of him before or since. And as I said, Ravi Shankar, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and the Limelighters, folk singers, and Dick Gregory came through. We had a wonderful cultural arts program and a very good school for music and arts and a very broad-based school. Lots of, maybe as many kids from the coasts as from Minnesota and Wisconsin put together, So because of its reputation, it was my father's school as well. I think that's the only reason they really let me in.
After all the years playing on the road, being basically an icon, I'm wondering what surprises you still these days about being on the road and the feedback that you get from fans.
There is what they say about the road. The best surprise is no surprise. If I'm surprised, it's not happy making usually, because what you really want from the road is you get on the bus, you have some funny conversation with your bandmates and roadmate, and get off the bus and go do the show and go to the hotel and sleep and get on the bus and go to the next gig. And the more surprises, the worse, really. So I hope nothing surprises me. There are, it's pleasant to have the band, the busmates I do. They're a funny crew, so that counts for a whole lot. So what the only thing is, how is it on stage? And it's getting funnier and funnier and smoother, and it's getting to be a very delicious show. We're really very happy with it.
Well, Peter, what keeps music a passion of yours after all these years?
The good quality that happens from a good show, from good music, just doesn't get tired. It's like saying, "Oh, well, are you tired of feeling good? You wake up in the morning, you don't feel that. Are you getting tired of that?
Right.
Tired of feeling okay? Getting sick of eating? Are you getting sick of having a nice dinner that you like?
Right.
No, you don't get sick of that. How do you get sick of that? That's great. That's the stuff that you live for."
Very good, Peter. I have to tell you, I'm a huge fan. It's an honor to be speaking with you, and I've really enjoyed the opportunity to chat with you today. I hope you guys have a great show when you're in town here, and it's been a real honor. Thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate the call.
Thanks for your time, and tell all of Northfield, even the Olies can come on up to come on up to the show, to the Minneapolis Zoo. Incidentally, you're not going to shut down the state, are you?
I'm not. I may feel the effects of it. It may actually happen. Yeah, it seems like that's what's almost inevitable at this point.
Boy, because we might have to move the show if the zoo, I understand, is part of the governmental operation.
If it does shut down, have you ever considered a career in politics?
Yes, I have. I don't have the memory for it.
All right, Peter, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
It's been my pleasure. Good talking to you.
Thanks, you as well.